Hi. Um, as you can see, I am crocheting, and the head of the sloth will take shape somewhere soon because I'm not on like the uh, second last row of just far too many double crochets all the way uh, before getting some open spaces. Um, I have to be completely honest that when there's so much of just one stitch all the way around and you're just getting more and more of it instead of some openings where you have to make a pattern, you're just filling in each row, and from what it looks like as of now, at the start of a half moon or something like that. Um, I wish I could have been able to crochet better. Um, I wish I could know how much yarn I would actually need for each project. It's like just going to get I the reason I'm most likely not going to be showing a lot of the brown yarn I'm working on is because of all these loose threads, and frankly, although I'm just pulling this one thread, you can kind of see here it's about to become a huge yarn barf. And yeah, I don't know, it's like yesterday I was visiting my ex who has our cats, and yes, they're ours because I also did adopt them. And yeah, I really, really, really wanted to bring this sloth project I'm working on as of now, but I was actually afraid based on the possible yarn barf coming when just pulling. Hopefully, I can avoid it. It will just take quite a long time because I have to use up all the thread until that happens, um, to reach those who have been pulled. And yeah, um, I felt kind of sad about that fact, so I did yesterday actually, how to say, yeah, I brought the smaller skein of the beige gray like thingy I used to make the wording of Katter får ikke plass, de tar plass. Um, I just brought that one with me and a crochet hook and some stitch markers, which I absolutely rely on all the freaking time. I have to actually order more because for some reason I keep losing them, and I find it kind of odd that I lose them all the time because I keep them all on the same place in their box. It was like they're just flying away, and they're also so thin, so I struggle to see sometimes. And if something is poking me one day, I will know where that one is. Um, But yeah, also because of all the loose threads on the yarn cake, which is actually my fault because I have somewhat mushed the yarn cake and made it easier to destroy, and I have not been willing to even try re yarn caking it because of all the thread I will end up losing in just switching to the same yarn again because it had to be respun. Can this just go there so it won't slip from my fingers? Um, yeah. Uh, and since my cats are honestly idiots, I will make a video with them at one point. Um, but since they like everything that moves, and due to the length of the potential future yarn barf danger, I was not willing to risk letting them end up with the chance to bite through the thread and just make this ginormous mess, which I can confirm have happened earlier. Um, that was with a ball of DMC40, and the amount of yarn I had to wind up and go around and under, and knots and knots and knots of, and nooks and crannies, and just like everywhere, was because they had somehow gotten a hold of my current work. They bit through the thread and used the then loose yarn ball, which was not big, like this big maybe, to chase it around all the way. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing? They were kittens, so I understand that they just, ooh, it moves, ooh, it leaves a trail. I was so horrified because if they have had been very unlucky and swallowed some or any length of the string at all, or uh, thread, they could have been in serious danger. Luckily, they have not been. They just took huge chunks of biting and made so much mess, and my the doily I made then sadly did not make it, so I had to remake everything because they bit holes everywhere, and cats' teeth are sharp. Um, Everyone who have cats know this, but at the same time, they're usually not using full force. But like a small kitten, not being used to being around any kind of thing with yarn, will just play and bite and destroy because, ooh, hunt, kill, daddy, look, look. And yes, this happened. My little cat named Ask, or Ash, as if you would translate his name, uh, he was so proud of himself for making a huge mess in the middle of the night. And of course, I heard sounds for quite a while, but like I had just gotten to bed, I was so freaking tired, and I had a bad period of lots of pain in my legs and my spine, and I was like, yeah, no, I can't deal with this. And I fell asleep eventually. Was just really annoyed at them. Um, But yeah, when I woke up, Osk was so proud of himself because of the mess. And he still does announce every time he's doing something he knows he's not supposed to do. And he just looks at you like, look what I'm going to do. And if you say no, he will just like, yes, yes, okay, I'll do it. And you will be furious. And if you're just saying no and then taking him quietly down, he will just jump back up. And no matter how many times you do it in 1 minute, he will not give up because he's a stubborn bastard. Yes, I know he's my son. He's far too like me. But sometimes I prefer his brother. Mostly because his brother is more like, yeah, but like, I'm worried about things and I'm a sleepyhead. Which is more resonating with me rather than I'm gonna do something evil. I will destroy things or make you run up after me because I love being chased after and then fall down on my back and just like cuddle me with the belly just in the air and making the most goofy sounds and just being this weird ass cat. I love him, but he's so freaking stupid. He's brown, very, very, very dark brown, so he kind of looks black, uh, unless you're in the sun, and whitish, off white, beige. It's like kind of black and white, not really tuxedo, but like he's got black and white parts, and yeah, he actually also has a goatee. You know, he's not the one who made me want a goatee. It was Roy Khan, the old singer of Camelot, the heavy metal band. So, yeah. I actually one time remember, or actually, I remember one time is more correct wording, when I had put my Doc Martens in the hallway where shoes and jackets and so on were, and I had also put my socks all the way into the toe end. I thought, honestly, that it would be too hard for Osk to go get my damn socks. Oh boy, was I wrong. Because he, as a very, very small kitten, or like, not really small, but like compared to what he is now, he was small. He was growing fast. He was maybe like 4 months old or something when this thing happened. He made such a ruckus in the hallway. I took my head to the side to see if I could see anything from where I was sitting in the living room in the sofa, but no, I could not. And I heard so much ruckus. And suddenly I see Osk coming running up to me, so proud of himself, the biggest question mark tail, and very proud, running with swaying but a big smile, and out from his mouth was both of my socks, and not just in any particular way either, because both of the heels of the socks were up to his cheek, and then the foot was dangling down, and he was so proud of himself. He came darting from the hallway through the whole living room, the other side of the apartment, to where I was sitting, jumped up in the couch, and then he just spat out my socks, and then he sits down and looks at me like, did I do a good job? And he was kind of panting like a dog. And I'm like, how in the nature did you manage to get those out? Because I struggle. Although I have far thicker hands than he does, but like, and I was kind of furious because I had made my shoes stand there and be ready for the next morning because I was going out early for some kind of appointment. I don't quite remember what, but I was going out at least. And my shoes were all over the hallway, uh, or entry hallway thingy. And I was like, no, no. So I pick up my shoes, put them back where they were supposed to be, and put my socks back in, and then put something over the shoes in an attempt to make it too heavy for us to put his damn paws in the top of the shoes and get out the socks again. He managed to do that like 5 times that evening, and I'm like, how? Why? You know I don't like it. And he runs away, fully knowing he's done something he's not supposed to. And he always, and this he's done since the very first day we actually met him at the foster home before we adopted him. He's been meowing and saying, look at me, look at me. And when you look at him, he does something he's not supposed to do. And he's actually an asshole. He's such an evil genius. And oh yeah, I actually gotta tell you, I used an hour to trim his nails last night because I sat in my old couch. I was relaxing, and suddenly I am told by my ex, like, hey, could you handle the claws of the cats because you're better at it than I am, and they usually let you do it, and I struggle to even get one paw. And I'm like, sure, I can do that because I've always done it, and usually it's not too much of a hassle. I have basically never hurt them unless they have been kicking while I was cutting the claw with a claw clipper. But like, it's happened once. Yes, they bled some, but I am trying my best to do everything I can for it not to happen, and it has not happened in maybe 4 years now. At least the boys, Ask and Chaplin, no, 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 not happening, they say. And I first tried to get Chaplin to do it. He's more white with black spots, actually, or rather dark, even darker brown. But like, if you don't know, they're black and white-ish cats. Either way, he is not doing much to resist. Like, he's obviously resisting, but like, he's not hissing, he's not meowing, he's not trying to take out your eyes or scratch you. No, no, no. He has a paw and he's like, no, get away, I want to get out. And he's trying to worm his way out of my hands. When I'm like, no, sit down and we'll be done in a moment. And like, he usually puts up with his front paws, but when I get to his back legs, he knows he can kick. So he's trying his very best to kick me away. And I'm like, no, no, I don't want to, no, stop getting the claw cutter to my claws and blah blah blah. You're doing a grave offense and blah blah blah. In his mind, he's screaming at me, but he's actually very quiet. And the second I have just trimmed the last claw, he's happy go lucky again. It's just he does not want it to happen, but he's not mad afterwards. He's so confusing. Well, it took me like maybe 2 minutes at most when I had eventually gotten to cut the damn claws of the forepaws of that cat. And Ask knew immediately what was going to happen. He gets more sharp, thin claws. So, and he's more of the kind of cat to give lots and lots and lots of biscuits. So, you'll notice that, especially when he's giving biscuits at night and giving them on your bare chest. He had his share with the brain cell because he found out that he could either go hide under the bed or under the table and we would not be able to get him. But he's stupid enough to come running if you're touching the food bag. He comes running and like, ooh, food, 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 food. I want food. And then when you try to pick him up, he knows exactly where you're taking him. Which is to me, sitting in my corner, in the sofa, pretending I'm not doing anything. And he worms his way up to my neck and just darts away. And it took me actually about an hour to finally be able to get him and trim his claws. And he looked at me dead in the eyes and tried to say with so much seriousness in his eyes, "You are a monster. I want to get away." He's not hissing. He's not doing much actually, other than trying to worm his way out and push you in the face and like, get away. I don't want this. I never said I did want to do this. It's like, I can understand him. Of course I understand them. But like, it has to be done. You have to trim your claws sometimes. And when it was finally over and he understood he would lose the stubbornness battle with me, yet again, you can see he's my son because of the stubbornness. And the one time he's not supposed to be smart, he has the damn brain cell to get away. Which is kind of annoying, but at the same time quite funny afterwards. It took me less than a minute to actually trim all his forepaws, because when he realizes that this battle is lost, he will sit tight, just maybe slightly try to worm his way out of my grip and be like, haha, I got away. And then I tighten my grip around him. I'm quite good at handling cats in general, and I'm not hurting him in any kind of way. I'm just holding him in place and like, no, wait 1 second, then you can go. I have this one claw left. And he looks at me. He huffs at me. He's so not happy. He's annoyed and he wants to scream at me. Never hissing, never trying to claw out my eyes or do anything to hurt me, really. They never do. They're some of the nicest cats I know of. And the second I am done trimming his claws, he realizes I'm not scary anymore because I'm done with the evil claw clipper. And I'm like, why do you have to struggle? You know that if you just let me do things and let me push on your toe pads to get damn claw out, it'll be over so fast. And he knows it. Yet he has to struggle because I don't want to sit like this. I want to do. I never said I wanted to do this. Now, like, I get you, but you have to do it because you're hurting others by just being a cute cat. And being an indoor cat, you have to manage the claws. I have training in it from an actual vet, because one of the times I went to a vet back where I grew up, I asked how to cut my cat's claws because they were quite long, and I didn't feel like, although he was an outdoor cat, he could trim them enough himself, although he was walking and running around on the ground and having the best time of his life. And he did let me try on a cat that was in for some kind of surgery, which also actually needed to trim either way on the claws. He let me try out, and he at least one paw, and he was like, yeah, you can do this, but just a cat who's awake, not so easy necessarily. Which is kind of weird because the first time I did manage the boys' claws, they were like, oh, cuddles. And now that they're adults, they're like, no, 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 no. I don't want this. But they're not mad for any length of period afterwards. They're just mad in the moment and like trying to get away. And it's kind of also weird when, if you look at their meowing, because Usk is a very loud and quite demanding personality. He's like, look at me, mom, mom, dad, dad. He's like that kid. Chaplin, he's more calm and worried about the world because he gets this worry wrinkle up here, and he also has some kind of wrinkles here, and he's like, what is this? No, 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 darting away. He kind of reminds me of an autistic kid who's like, nope, and oh, I have so much fun to tell about my cats. Chaplin is quite calm, and when he meows, and he's the bigger one of them, he's making these peeps. He's like, like very high pitched meows, and his brother is so low, and he's the smaller one and also the younger one. But like before Chaplin actually did meow. Like, he obviously did some when he was playing with us as a very, very small kitten. But, like, he had a period where I thought, like, he's just not a meowing cat. And so did my ex. And then suddenly, we heard this high pitched noise. It's like, meow, 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 meow. And we were like, what in the actual F is that? And then he's like, hi you, I'm here, yeah, yeah. And often if I'm on the toilet when I'm visiting them, he will be like, "Brr, brr, brr," and he just wants to get in. And I'm like, do you want to get in? Brr. And if I am not opening up fast enough for him, he will sit down and just have me have the bathroom door open when I'm going number two, which I do quite a few times a day. He will sit down, look at me like I'm the biggest idiot in the world, and then he will go around the door, like the other corner, where we can't get in. It's just like this tiny slit you see when the door moves at a certain angle. And then he will sit and complain because he cannot get inside the bathroom. Why? The door was open right in front of you. You walk around to the other corner and you complain because you can't get in. And then I obviously closed the door because why would I have the bathroom door open when I'm doing my business? And then Chaplin has the audacity to turn his head around from the wrong corner and stare at my ex and then complain to her by meowing and such, telling her to open the damn door when she is on the other side of the room, other side of the apartment. And she's like, yeah, but like, Chaplin, you have to go to the other corner and go in when Axel opens the door. And he just looks at her like she's an idiot, like, no, come fix this close the door issue for me. And I want it open, I just want it open. And sometimes I actually have to open the door, try to stick my hand out of the door just to get him into a somewhat playing mode and have him chase down my hand. And by then it's almost time for me to get out, and I really don't want him to get in because it just means I have to be there far longer time than necessary. Because when he finally decides to get in, there's always two things he does. He's either going behind me, or not rather behind me, but like if the toilet is here, my foot is there. He goes in between my feet, around the toilet, and off to the side there, under the clothing rack or drying rack. I don't know what you want to call it. And he's gonna sit in that corner, all the way over there, where I cannot reach him either way, and look at me like, I. And then he starts to have this worry frown again, and he kind of, I call it like he's sitting like a tank because he's almost ready to pounce, but not like he's just looking at things. But he has a tendency to do that almost all the time. And he's such a weird, weird thing. We call it a tank position, and he usually actually does it when he's in a worry state where everything that exists is bad, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on in his head, but he does get this wrinkle and kind of like a frown. It's like almost like this in a cat. He kind of gets this face as well. And the more concerned he is, and if he smells something like raw carrots, that's some of the worst smells he does know. He is so not happy with raw carrots, and I can explain why, and this will probably be the last story of Ask and Chaplin as of this video, because I see now that the timer says it's been already quite a long time. I was having trout for dinner, and I actually think it's quite good with uh, shredded carrots with lots of lime juice. Like you kind of drown the carrots in lime juice almost. Gives like this lovely sour taste to the salty food, and so just like umami. Like, yeah, you get what I mean. And one day I did take off the carrot peel, and Chaplin was in the couch next to me. I he looked at me like he was horrified because of what I was doing, because he just saw me doing something and probably didn't like the smell, because he kinda kept his distance, was very skeptical. So let's say this is the carrot, right? And I have this carrot. I'm about to shred it. And then I ask him, do you want to smell? And then I hold it quite far from him and let him approach. And he tries slightly. And he's like, ugh. And then he darts away to the other side of the room, and I actually don't see him for the next 4 hours, because that smell was horrendous according to him. And somehow this will actually be the last video because it's so much related. Um, he also, the same day when that happened, and when Ira saw, she was just laughing hysterically, and frankly I would do too if it wasn't for the fact that I already was. That day my ex did pour some orange juice in a glass, because orange juice with fish, lovely. Just citrus in general with fish, amazing. Um, Apparently, Chaplin does not like the scent of orange juice, because I don't know if he got like one tiny droplet on his nose and was like, nope, nope. Uh, During that dinner, I know, or yeah, my ex were trying to pour the orange juice into the glass, not doing any fuss about it. He'd seen and been around it for so many times. But this time he was like, nope, gives the same nope, nope, nope face and darts away. And ever since I've been staying far away when you are pouring a glass of orange juice because that is horrible stuff according to him. And I'm actually kind of glad at the same time because him being a cat, he's not supposed to have citrus either way. So for us, that's a win. For him, that's a big no no because cats usually think that we're the same species. We're just like us humans are clumsy little kittens that needs help. Or just a weird version. Because they have this group mentality instead of individuality and so on. Yes, they're their own individuals, but like if a cat grows up with dogs, it'll actually think it's a dog and behave like a dog. Which is fun and also kind of creepy. But cats, you are not supposed to understand them. Um, yeah, I ended up making a long ass video about my cats, which lives at my old place, and I visit them sometimes. I wish I could visit them more, but yeah, I have plans this weekend, and for as you know by my videos, have been quite sick for about a month with everything from toothache till infections and so on. Um, I am now going to end this video because I don't feel like I have more to say at the moment. I can, however, show that yes, it's gotten some length now. Um, it kind of looks like it's bulging out, but it's really not. Or it is straight, it's just heavy because of all the tightness of the stitches. Um, so, yeah. As you also probably have seen uh, from the video, this video, if you have even made it to this point, um, you've seen me crocheting and crocheting and crocheting, and it's taking quite a long time to finish a row, especially when you're making so many double crochets in a row. uh, I think this piece is 440 something stitches long, and then if you divide that upon 3 ish, uh, you get like 145 or so, plus minus. It's like, yeah. I also gotta give a small update on the other thing I have been starting on because I was outside yesterday and then I needed to do something with my hands. Um, I started another crocheting of the cat Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. I think I have mentioned in one of my previous videos, like one of the last ones, that I was going to make yet another one for my friend Luke. Um, and I have begun. It'll just take time because I'll mostly focus on the sloth for my friend Sammy or Samuel, depending on who's talking to him. He's like Sammy is my nickname on him. He's really cute, very awesome guy. Um, yeah, the sloth is my main priority because I have already made GG once, and my friend Luke, I spoke to him earlier, and he was like, "Yeah, take your time. It's no hurry to get it, but I want to uh, frame it when you have it, because then I have the original you made, and then just a more plain simple one with more easy to see the different things, because it's not so busy, but like I really love the original version you did. um, so yeah, I had actually hoped back then when I made GG in late June, uh, that late June till early July, that GG, at least the first one I made, would use up all the brown vintage yarn, because it was the last one I had with not so much knowing what to do with of that yarn. And sadly I ended up with half a ball of the vintage one left, and not having much left, I am just using it to make some borders or things. I have been thinking of making a border of the new GG with what I have left, and see then if I use it up or have even more left. But I think that will be the last border I'm making, because this sloth will be far too big for what I have left. And I'm in um, no way in existence I will buy more of that vintage yarn. It was fun while it lasted, but like not my favorite thing, and it used to hurt my fingers, and I have to adjust my tension again, because if you're crocheting or knitting and this happens, you're keeping your yarn too tight on your fingers. But it's kind of weird, because it's not really digging into my skin, just annoying the skin. It used to dig, but like I've gotten better at that. However, this have the same stitch definition as always, slightly going inwards, because I naturally have a tight tension, and I'm working on that. But like, this is a handmade item, it's not supposed to be perfect, and when it's not perfect, it is perfect, because as long as it's not full of holes that will eventually destroy it, it's just working. Yeah, but as I said for like maybe 15 minutes ago, I'm now done with the video, and I can give slight updates on GG. Actually make separate videos of that process, because it's a very fun thing to make, and I know ish the next 4 rows in my head, if I'm not completely wrong. So yeah, happy stitching, and I hope you will see my next videos. And I'm sorry for making so long videos, because most people today have very short attention span. But like, thank you for watching, and maybe you want to subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss any of my videos. I'm uploading as I want to, I make them as I want to. There's no schedule to it. So yeah, I actually hope you will have a fantastic day, whatever, and happy stitching. Bye.